All right, everyone, welcome back to Max Street Garage. Continuing on with the videos for the reconstruction, repainting, and reinstallation of the grill on my 1947 CJ2A Jeep. Today's video is going to be about making gaskets for the headlight bucket. Not so much gaskets for this side, but for this side. There's a paper gasket that's about $20 that goes between this surface and the mating surface on the frame of the grill. Well, I am going to go back and use the skills that I learned in my 2 years of agricultural and diesel mechanics in vocational school, as well as my 6 years in the military as a mechanic. So what I'm going to do is place this on top of here. Turn this so I can see it. Where's my pencil? And as I switch hands, will trace out all the way around. I'm going to go a little bit larger than the actual headlight bucket itself, because that's just a smarter thing to do. Because in my experience, if you make the gasket too small, it's worse. So then I take the pencil and I make the little holes here, little holes here, little holes here. I believe there's another one right over, where is it? Where is it? Oh, stand up, see it. Oh, there it is right there. All right, put that little hole mark right there. So now that gives me at least the outside diameter of the gasket that goes between this surface and the mating surface on the grill. Now this next part's going to take me a little bit of time. But it is very important, and anybody that has made gaskets, I know there is gasket making material. Before I buy that, because sometimes it can be expensive, I'm going to go ahead and place this on top of the headlight bucket itself, and then I'm going to take what I call my ting 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 hammer, and I'm going to go all around the perimeter with this, cutting the outside surface first, and then coming back later with the same hammer and then tinging on this part, which is the inside, actually the part that holds the light itself. This is the light housing, this is the light bucket. So I want to go ahead and take care of that now. I have to turn the camera off because for some reason I can't find my tripod. So stand by, I'll be right back. Okay, I made a change to what I was going to do. Rather than using my ting ting hammer to go all around the perimeter and cut the inner circle out, I went ahead and took my time and used my X-Acto knife to cut this part first. So now I can discard this portion, take my light bucket, light housing, set that on top of here. I'm also going to take, before I do any of that, I'm going to line up the holes for the bolts that hold the housing on with this first. Take my pencil, go down through, poke a hole in there so I can hold it steady. So this way, as I go around tinging the inside all the way around the perimeter, the holes, I want to put pencils in each one of these holes, and that should hold the circle in place. Now normally if you're doing this on a job site, you would take the bolts, put them in the holes, and that would hold the paper in place while you made the gasket. So let me go ahead and take care of that. We'll be right back. Alright, just a little sidebar. I've actually had some comments from people that watch my videos that say sometimes I go into an area that most people can do, but there are some areas out there that some people cannot do, like make your own gaskets. The key to making your own gaskets is, one, you can use the gasket paper first, but I recommend making the template and then cutting the gasket out from the template, because it's better to mess up a piece of poster board than it is because once you cut the gasket, whether it be paper, cork, or rubber, once you cut it, you're done. At least with the paper, you can go ahead and do that again until you get it right. So you can see that I went around one time and just barely made an impression all the way around, that's exactly how you want to make a gasket. You don't want to whack it really, really hard because not only could you damage the paper, the gasket material, but you could also damage the rim that you're using to make the gasket in the first place. That's why I have my Ting Ting hammer. I know that's not the real name for a Ting Ting hammer, but it's, you know, and see that little sign that says, be safe, wear goggles? Well, I'm wearing goggles too. So you just take your time, go around. It might have to go 2 or 3 times to make the gasket, but in the long run, you'll be better off for it. So stand by. Let me make another little pass around here and get this thing cut out. Then I'll show you the next step. All right, and we're back. Now, something I forgot to mention, that when you're making gaskets, when you're making the impression on top first, come straight down on the item so you can make that line all the way around. But when it comes time to cut, go at an angle. So then the part of the hammer that's on the lower edge hits the angle of the piece of metal that you're working with, and that will actually cut like a knife or scissors all the way around. Now you could use a compass, take the measurement, poke the hole in the very center, make the line, and then cut it out with an X-Acto knife. The choice is yours. This is just the way I like to do it. I do have an X-Acto knife, I just don't have a compass, which you could make on your own using a piece of string, a tack, and a pen. That's for a later video. You can probably look that up. It's how you make your own compass without the actually having a compass. But anyway, let me get this started and go on to the next move. Hold on just a moment. All right, now it's on to the next move. You can see that the area here isn't the same as the area here. We have these indentations all the way around. Not quite sure why they did that, but that's neither here nor there. So, when I take the gasket that I've made, or the template for the gasket, when I put it on here, it's not going to fit down over these areas that are protruding out like this. So now I'm going to have to come in and very carefully, I want to get this in the center, then I want to take tape and put around the inside to hold this in place, turn it over, then with a ink marker, like a Sharpie, to go around the inside and make the lines for the indentations. So the next cut I make is going to be just a little bit more intricate. So let's stand by. Give me just a moment. All right, welcome back. Here we go, the final clip. You'll notice that I'm gone from fluorescent pink to fluorescent orange. That's because it was near impossible to cut all of these notches out, because as I spin this, you'll see each notch is just a little bit different. I don't know why, but that's just the way they made it. But anyway, so what I did is I traced the exterior perimeter, and then I measured how far it was from here to there, made little tick marks, took my X-Acto knife, trimmed that all out, and voila, it now works. So what I'm going to do to make the gasket, I'm not going to use paper, I'm not going to use cork. I'm actually going to use the bad inner tube that was in the spare tire that you saw me paint silver earlier, or chrome. I'm going to take the section of that rubber out, and I'll make a gasket for this one, for the right side, even the 2 front turn signals in the front, and then also make rubber mounts for the grill to the framework itself, and then gaskets for between the grill side and the fender mounts. This way it'll be as anti-squeak as possible. With that being said, I want to cut this off now, so be good to yourself, be nice to each other, and I'll see you on the next video when I actually start putting all of this back together. Bye-bye.